morning, everyone. Welcome back to parkbench.com/Monroe-CT. I'm Danielle Ronin with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm standing here with Dr. Joshua Baum of Baum Braces in Monroe and Newtown. You have two offices, correct? And welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Actually, I have three offices. There's another in Southbury as well.
Oh, my goodness. Look
Yes.
at you expanding.
Yeah,
How
thank you.
awesome is
Thank
that? So tell us a little bit about your practice, when you got started, and
Yeah. So, this practice has actually existed since the mid-1970s. There was an original orthodontist who started it back then, and I joined the practice in 2004. And just a year and a half later, the practice transitioned. I bought the practice. So for about 15 years now, we've been running and operating this practice. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what it means to be an orthodontist.
Yeah, being an orthodontist, we're really in the business of making people smile. People come in for various reasons. We meet young patients as early as 7 years old for sometimes growth issues where there's not enough room for the teeth to fit in. There can be bite issues, or sometimes young patients have habits like thumb sucking that we can intervene with. For our slightly older patients, teenagers, and our adults, we're often looking at correcting their bite, but also making their smile gorgeous and beautiful.
Wonderful. How many people do you have on staff in this office in particular?
Yeah. So at one time, there's probably about 10 staff working in this office during a busy day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what do you do to keep them motivated and keep them on task?
Keep them motivated. Keeping them motivated is actually fairly easy. My staff is terrific. A lot of them have been doing this for a really long time. We talk often at our morning meetings. We have meetings every morning about just providing outstanding care. And I think the staff take that very seriously. They want to do the best job possible for the patients that walk in the door. And many of them who've been doing it for a long time can actually think 2 steps ahead of me and be prepared for what I might want to do that day. And it really helps the patient's overall care and the efficiency of my day, too.
What are some of your favorite things about having a practice, a business here in Monroe?
Yeah. I think just generally there's a lot of great things to do around here, neat small town, good restaurants, but just being involved in the community is really nice. I get to meet a lot of people that come through the door here, but when I go out into town, maybe at a grocery store or restaurant, and see them in a different environment, it gives me an opportunity to really get to know them differently, sometimes maybe in their workplace, and flip the script a little bit. Okay. And, so it gives me a chance to really get to know people. So just being part of a small town community is pretty awesome.
And I know you're very involved because even with Halloween, you do a lot of things. Give the audience a little bit of flavor of the things you do when you get involved in the community.
Yeah, so you mentioned Halloween. So at Halloween, we try to motivate the kids to stay on good oral hygiene habits and be involved. So at that time of year, we're often going out to the schools and maybe doing some oral hygiene lectures, try to keep them fun and exciting, not so boring. But also for our patients who we don't necessarily want to have them eat sticky, chewy candy and gum because they may break their braces or hurt themselves. We do a candy buyback program where they bring in the candy that they collected on Halloween, and we give them, I think last year it was $2 a pound for every pound they brought into us. So they still felt like they were participating in Halloween, getting rewarded for it, but weren't necessarily eating the sticky chewies.
Okay. Yeah. Now, this is a super fun environment, this office, and I drive by every single day, and seasonally, you've got like these amazing haystack displays and all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about the design of the office.
So, when you mentioned the haystacks, it was a neat story. My wife and I, probably almost 12 years ago, we were driving through Maine, and they were doing a hayman contest where all these businesses built and interesting and creative haymen, and I just thought it was a great idea. So I brought that idea back to our community. And at different years, we've had different themes out front, and it's usually my landscaper who's been involved in it, and he has, over the years, grown with the excitement of kind of doing something new and creative. So we try to, always have something out there that's interesting and draws attention, but gives back to the community in a fun way.
Right. Well, I particularly loved the Minions.
The Minions are my favorite. They really are. And actually, most people say, oh, Dr. Baum, he's the Minion doctor.
Right. So, and Star Wars.
And maybe Star Wars as well. You're right.
So much fun. And what about the interior? There's a lot of fun stuff in here, too.
Yeah, we try to keep the environment kind of soothing and relaxing for patients, so when they walk in, it doesn't necessarily feel like a dental office. We have life-size Spider-Man hanging on the wall and a fun arcade room for the kids to play in. But for adults, hopefully a calm atmosphere, a coffee bar, just to keep the environment relaxed. And you can see from the environment, it's an open atmosphere, so nothing feels too enclosed or uncomfortable, I guess. It's meant to increase patients' comfort is really what it's about.
That's wonderful. And it's super fun. So aside from that element, what differentiates you from all of the other orthodontists in and around town?
Gosh, it's a tricky question. I think it's just, I'd have to say, for myself, I would say how much I care about my patients, that I take the responsibility of their treatment very seriously, that I want to provide each individual patient the best care that they can have, which at times can be a bit of a burden and a stress for me to feel because I want to do and provide the best care. But I want to treat the kids as if they were my kids, and I want to treat the adults if they were my siblings or my parents. So I just want to give them the best care.
Fabulous. And what are some of the most latest innovations in orthodontia? How do you say that?
Yeah, orthodontics.
Orthodontics. That is an easier way to say it. Some future things that you see coming down the pike.
Yeah, there's some really neat things coming up. A lot of them have to do with increasing not only patient comfort, but the efficiency and speed with which we treat patients. But the biggest game changer in orthodontics recently has been Invisalign. Invisalign has been around for about 20 years now, but at the early stages of Invisalign, it actually wasn't that good at straightening teeth. It was just a new technology and a way to provide treatment without braces and wires. But year over year, that technology has improved kind of at a lightning speed. And those of us that have been using it for a long time, I think we've gotten really proficient and really good at it. So for a lot of patients now, we're able to provide sometimes the same level of care as braces. And there's certain patients that I actually prefer using Invisalign for. I think we can do treatment sometimes better and more efficiently because of all the computer technology that goes into the design of their treatment. So it's really neat. It's a neat time to be an orthodontist.
Fabulous. And now you have to tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, this little guy is supposed to look a little bit like me. He is Baum on a stick, and it's a summer contest that we do. We've done it every year for a number of years, and we encourage our patients to take this little Baum on a stick with them on their summer trips and vacations or any fun place they go, and take some cool pictures and send them back to us and post them on Facebook. And then we have a few different prize categories at the end of the summer: most creative photo, I think the best family shot, and whichever photo gets the most likes on Facebook. And again, it's just one of those fun things that we like to do for our patients. And I get to go on a lot of vacations with people during the summer. I've been to some very interesting places.
What's the most interesting place you've been to?
Well, Baum on a Stick has traveled worldwide. I've seen him go to Germany, Hawaii, Japan. So there's amazing places. People have climbed the tops of very creative or difficult mountains that I would never myself do. Okay. I've seen him Baum on a Stick in a wetsuit water skiing. I've seen him dressed as a groomsman at a wedding. So there's really cool stuff. People are very creative with it.
Okay, well, I think you are so super fun, and you make orthodontics as fun as it possibly can be. And for anybody out there who has a child, or if you're an adult and you're looking to find an awesome orthodontist, Dr. Baum, tell us where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, we can be found just about everywhere, of course, on Facebook and Google. You can look up our phone number as well, but Baum Braces, BAUM braces.com is our website.
Okay, and what's your street address here in Monroe?
It's 241 Monroe Turnpike.
Can't miss it. He's right across the street, or diagonal, so to speak, from the post office. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate speaking with you, and have an awesome day. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.